We go to where? Launch Pad, find the program, Photoshop. Now, we can go online and search for the image. Vector, vector, lemonade. Okay. You find the image that you want, grab it, pop it in. So I'm going to go here. First step you want to do is create a new page. File, new. You change your document size. We're going to go 8.5. Width and the height we make 11. That's a regular sheet of paper. This is for a print. This is the difference between print and video. If it's for video or web, I will create a RGB. If it's for print, I'm going to change it to CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. That is these type of printers. They're full color printers. So I'm going to make sure my resolution is high, because if your resolution is low, guess what's going to happen? Your image is going to look crappy. It's going to be pixelated. So we're going to make it 1. I'm going to make 300 is a good resolution to start. I'm going to give it a name. Lemonade poster. And I'm going to hit OK. And there's my page to start. First thing I want to do is to bring my images in. But I want a really nice background to start my design. You may only use 3 colors in designing. So I'm going to use 3 colors. I want mine to be refreshing and cool. So I'm going to create a new layer. This is how you create a new layer. Go to Layer and go to New Layer. I'm going to call this Background Layer. I'm going to hit OK. So now I got a background layer. Now notice what happens. The layer is created on top. Okay? So I'm going to select all. And I'm going to create a nice fill, image, fill. Look at this technique here. Pretty cool technique. I'm going to fill that with my foreground color. That's my foreground color. But look, now I have a color here. Look what I can do. I'm going to double click. This is a quick technique you can use. I can double click. Give it a Samir. So Samia, help him out with that. Who he needs to find. Now the next phase, look at this. It's pretty cool. I'm going to create a gradient. Okay, I'm going to double click on this, and I'm going to use my layer styles. Now let me do that again. Do not double click on the image. You have to double click on the side. That's a quick shortcut. Or you can go to Layer and go to Layer Styles, and you can have access here. So 2 ways you can get it. You guys see that? So I'm going to go here, double click. I'm going to click on Gradient. I'm going to click on the gradient bar. I'm going to click on the gradient. And I'm going to change the color of this white to yellow. So I got that changed. So I'm going to hit OK, but I kind of want to add another color in there. Look at this. I'm going to drag it so you can slide the color. Look what happens. The blue comes up. I can slide it. I want to duplicate this color. Look at this. I press Option and drag. You see that? How you do it? Can someone help me? What I got to click? Option and grab. I create another one. I don't want it. I drag it off. I'm going to click on it again, but I want to change the color to be dark so I get a nice blend. Now these colors, using happy colors for my lemonade poster. I want it to be a happy, refreshing feeling. Okay? So I got that. Now the next thing I want to do is bring in a lemon. So I'm going to drag it and drop it. I'm going to hit enter. Now notice that when you drop it, it sits right into the shape. How do you scale this down, Mr. Paris? It's too big. Oh, that's easy. Go to edit, transform, scale. I'm going to hold shift. This is important. If you scale something and it's looking like this, that's automatically 0. You have to press shift to scale it in correct proportion, and you have to drag the corners. You guys got me on that? Okay, so now this comes in. This is called, if you look real close, you see that little thing right there on the corner? That's called a smart object. That means it preserves the actual image. It keeps that high resolution. But we want to edit this image. We want to play with it. So I'm going to right click. The keyword I want you to write down, that's before you can do it. Now this is important. You might try to do a command, but it's still actually sitting in this motion. So I'm going to go here. I have to hit enter to apply what I want to do. And now I want to take this off of the smart object and make it a rasterized image so I can edit this image. Because you can't edit it if it has this little smart object on the corner. So I'm going to right click and look at the word right there, rasterize. Once you write that word down, rasterize. Now by rasterizing the layers, now it's an image. I can manipulate this image. That's what I want to do. Now look at this technique here. A lot of people don't know this technique. It saves you a lot of time. If your rulers are not showing, you go to view and show rulers. All right, but my rulers are out, so I'm good to go. Look at this. I'm going to click on the edge and drag that ruler guide, drag the guide to the corner. Then I'm going to click on the marquee selection tool and I'm going to use the ellipse. I'm going to press shift. I'm going to start on the corner. The trick is you got to start right on the corner. Click and drag. Look at this. I'm going to get a perfect circle around the thing. Then, if I hit delete, look what happens. I delete what? I don't want to delete that. I want to delete what? I need your help. The white part. So I'm going to click on Command Z. And to delete the white part, you have to go to Select Inverse. And then you hit what? Delete. You see? That's the trick. Select Inverse and then do what? Delete. Now I can deselect. How do you deselect? Go to Select and what? Deselect. Now, I still got some white parts around here. So I'm going to zoom in. See, using the magnifying glass, I'm zooming in. Now notice that right now, this is important. Right now, I'm zoomed in at 100%. This is what it looks like. Pretty clean, pretty clear. But look what happens when I zoom in at 400%. And guess what? Blurry, but the key word is pixelated. See that? So right now, at 100%, 60, it can work. So now I'm going to use my magic wand. Now this is pretty cool. I like this magic wand too. Now look at this magic wand. The magic wand allows you to select a section, a particular color. Now look at the difference. You see there's a little arrow on the side. Every little arrow on the bottom means there's additional tools hidden in there. You see that, young lady? So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on the quick selection tool and look at this magical trick. Drag it on the outside. It's got to be on plus. See, I'm dragging it around. Look at that. Bam. That's a quick way to select. Now, notice that it went into the what? What area did it went into? We don't want it. We want it. So a quick way you can press this option and look how it changes from plus to minus. I'm holding that option. And then I'm going to go on the side real close to the area and delete. but I don't need. You guys see that? You see that, Samia? So I'm going to delete select that. That's another way you can select. I could also delete by using this tool, the Polygon Lasso. Look at this technique. Click. You got to be good. You got to take your time. You can't just rush. I'm going on the side. Then you got to bring it back around and close it off and hit delete. That's using what tool? The Polygon Lasso. I could also use the magic wand by selecting, but notice that the tolerance is a key word I want you to remember. Look at what's the tolerance at 5%. I'm going to put that tolerance to 15%. And look what happens now. You see the power of the tolerance? It's your best friend. You could do the same. You guys see what I just did? So the tolerance allows you to strengthen the strength of the selection. Now, we got a nice clean image. There's some part. Yeah, we got some areas we can go back. But for video purpose, I'm just doing it so you get the gist of it. Now, to make this smaller, I'm going to go down. Now, that lemon looks good against that blue. Now, my lemonade is called, let me find me a font. Click on here. Make moves, lemonade. Make moves, lemonade. Now, I want a font that's playful, a font that's happy. So I'm going to select the font. I'm going to go right here. And I have a lot of fonts on my personal computer. Ooh, I could do a dripping lemonade sauce. No. Make moves, lemonade. I look kind of happy. See, it's all about the font, guys. Let's go get the right font. I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to scale this up. How do you scale a text? You go to Edit, Transform, Scale. How do we scale this? What do we have to press? Shift. Grab and pull. Now, I'm going to bring that right in here. Now, I'm going to get rid of these guides. Okay. Now, when you work, you must set up something called bleeds. Guides, bleeds are important in designing and print work. This is how you set your bleeds up. It's like a safety. Usually, it should be the same distance going across the page. You see that? So now, but my font is not popping. There's no contrast between the background and the text. So how do we create contrast? Now look at this. This is pretty cool. We double click. I'm going to add a stroke. I'm going to stroke the outside to give it a nice contrast. Okay. Then I want to add a drop shadow. So I'm going to click on drop shadow. I'm going to push that out. Ooh, that's looking good already. Hit OK. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this. A quick, easy way. You're ready on the layer. Now notice if I move this layer here, look what happens. It's in the back. If I move the layer to the front, it's on the front. So Photoshop is dealing with layers. That's why it's about manipulation of layers and images. So I'm going to move this here. Now the next thing I want to add is the name of my lemonade, right? Make moves what? Lemonade. I'm going to duplicate this. You could duplicate also by going to layer duplicate. But I'm going to go ahead and select. And I'm going to make this. And I'm going to scale this down. As a matter of fact, I want to curve this. So we're going to learn how to curve these fonts by selecting it. And we're going to go right here in the wrap tool. and I'm going to click on art, and I'm going to put a nice scale it down. Now, I'm using this thing. This is going to be your best friend. It's called auto select. If it's not on auto select, then you always have to go here to select things to move things around. Auto select allows you to quickly grab it and move things around. See that? So I want the lemonade going around it. I'm going to scale the lemon just a little bit so it's perfectly in there. Hit enter. Okay, that looks good. It's coming. Okay. Now, so far, it's something that's happening, but I think we could do some more to this. So we're going to learn how to add curves to this. And designing, it's all about the flow of the eye. It's about how you make things flow and grab the person viewer's eye. So let's look at this technique. We're going to use the pen tool. Now, to use the pen tool, you're going to hit new layer. I'm going to drag this layer to the top. Drag it to the top. That's my pen tool. We're going to label the layer. To double click on the word layer and call it pen. Now I'm going to start with the pen. Take a look at this pen tool. It's very tricky. Click. Okay. Undo. Click on the pen tool. Shape. We're going to create a path. Look at this. A path. There's a difference between a shape and a path. The path is just going to give you the shape. I want to have a curve right here. Look at this trick here, guys. If I want a curve, I have to click. I don't let go. I pull. I'm trying to create the shape that I want. I let go. To continue that line, I have to hold click on the anchor point, and I want to continue. Then I want to what? Click on I have to hold down option and click on the anchor point. Click on the anchor point. I'm doing it outside because it doesn't matter. And I want to close it. If it's not closed, you're going to have problems filling it in. Look at this trick. Now it's closed. This is called a path. To fill the path, look at the trick. Control, you have to click control and then click in the middle, and you want to hit make selection. Now I have a selection going here. Because I'm on a new layer, let's create a new layer. I'm going to fill this in. Fill in with the foreground color. Now, I'm going to deselect. Now that looks good. Got nice flavor going in here, nice curve. But you know, it's kind of boring. I want to duplicate this curve. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to change the color of the bottom layer. Go to color, overlay. Change that to yellow. Because remember, we're sticking in the color that we decide we're going to do. And I'm going to move it up a little bit. So now I got a nice little pattern going on. Now, but it's too stiff. I want to rotate it. Very good. Very good designer, young lady. Look how I'm going to curve that. So it starts, I want to scale this a little bigger. Hit enter. And look what happens. It curves right into the flame. It gives a nice little sleek vibe going on. But you know, I think I can add like a leaf and some lemons popping out from the bottom. Right? So what I'm going to do is go here. Gotta find the right lemons. Okay. That looks good. What do you think about that one? It's good. But the problem is this has a real look. Would you think that works pretty good with that? Good observation. So we should find images that are what? What's the word we're looking for? Vector images, right? So let's click on the word vector. Let's scroll right into it. Ooh, this looks good. What about that one? Let's try it. I'm going to grab it and put it on the side. I'm going to keep looking. Ooh, there it is. There it is. Oh, cheese and macaronis. He has that line in there. Okay, we got to keep looking. That's a nice one too. Can we use that one? Nah, too cheesy. You guys are good, man. You're good. You got a good eye. But for sake of time, we're going to use this one here. I'm going to grab this piece, bring it into the design. Now, same process, enter. We got to get rid of the white. I'm going to use the magic wand. Click, delete. Now, why can't we delete? Because what? See if you remember what we talked about earlier. It's a smart object. So I'm going to right click and do what? Rasterize. Then I could do what? Delete. Now, that's kind of looking good too. Now, I'm going to see, maybe I'm going to rotate it upside down. I'm going to bring this behind. Now, oh, there's some more things. How we get rid of that? We can use a couple things. I can use this tool, the Polygon Lasso. Got to find the circle. There it is. Now, I'm going to scale it in a little bit more. Let's bring that down, smaller. Okay. So we got that here. Not bad. You know, the time, I'm trying to show you how to do it quick. We need to add our slogan. So my slogan is ready. It's make moves. Make moves lemonade. Beautiful. Then we're going to put the ounce. But I'm going to pause for here because this is the first piece you're going to design is your cover. This cover will be used for your label for your lemonade when you do the packaging now. Because I can use this as a package wrap for my label when I design my label. You see how I did two things in one? Okay, so now to save, we go to File, Save As, and then we're going to give it a name. You have to save two versions, guys. This is important. You save the PSD, which is the Photoshop file format, and I'm going to save that first. And then File, Save As. Then we're going to save the what? JPEG format. Save JPEG. You can make sure your quality is at max. Hit OK. And then I'm going to save a PNG version. File, Save As. PNG. Now it's not in here, so how you get that? Let me show you another way. File, Save for Web. PNG 24. Write that down. It's a very important one to use. Hit Save. And then PNG 24 is being saved right now. Boom. And you're done. Okay. Now I ought to make sure we recorded this. Let's double check here. Quit.